Well, Electro Optic Systems has released its quarterly earnings report and landed a $15 million counter-drone systems contract. The company has secured this contract to supply Slinger counter-drone systems to Diehl Defence in Germany. Let's get the details on the deal and earnings from the CEO, Andreas Schwer, who joins me. Good to see you, Andreas. Just tell us in layman's terms what this deal is all about.
Good afternoon. This is the first deal of a series of deals we expect to acquire over the next few months, where customers want to use our counter anti-drone system based on cannon-based air defense into their multi-layer air defense system. You have to imagine currently most of the European or worldwide air defense systems are based on missile-based air defense, where one shot costs you $1 million. One shot against a drone, which typically comes in for a price tag of $10,000. So there's no economic base. So countries have identified the need for a commercial solution, which makes sense, but is still very technology-wise effective. Our system come in for less than 10% of the price, and they want to install our system to protect their critical infrastructure, their missile launch bases in Ukraine with our system against drone attack.
Andreas, I understand that Slinger was designed and developed in Australia, primarily, of course, for the export market. Just tell us how important it is that this was all done on home soil.
So for us, Australia is the innovation and focus hub of the company for many, many years. We do many things there. You can see here also we do space-based air defense from Australia. We do our laser weapon development in Australia. We have developed most of our remote weapon station businesses within Australia. So we've used the Australian hub to develop this kind of highest accuracy counter-UAS system in Australia, thanks to our workforce, which is mostly hosted around the Canberra area. It's very important for us.
When it comes to your overall results, you have seen an increase in cash flow. Just tell us how the books are looking and just the key points from your results.
So we've released the cash result of the last year, not the earning result, which will come up in a few weeks from now. So the cash result was more than satisfactory. We have even our own in-house estimates. So the business is running more and better than expected. So we hope to continue on that line by realizing more cash positive projects this year, so-called urgent operational demand projects where we deliver within a few months. And this is hopefully continuing in this year, thanks to the crisis which is ongoing in Ukraine, but also in the Middle East, which is asking for many of our systems on a short-term delivery note. So we expect, yes, the cash flow to be very stable and even becoming better and better.
It's horrific to see what is happening in the Middle East and, of course, in Ukraine. But as you say, it does underpin strength for your products. Just tell us what kind of further contracts you might potentially have in the pipeline.
We have lots of ongoing negotiations with a multitude of Western NATO countries, but also with countries in the Middle East, many more countries than we have been dealing with in the past. So from a client perspective, our client base will increase significantly. We expect several contracts to come in an order of magnitude, which is bigger than this first contract here on Slinger. Don't forget, most of the countries will reintroduce cannon-based air defense systems first in smaller quantities to see how it's working, how it integrates with their existing systems, and then going into larger procurement quantity. So we are very optimistic. And this small contract, it's really a small one, but with the German government and our German partner Diehl, is a strategic door opener into the Western European market.
So you're talking about being quite optimistic and, of course, an increase in your cash flow too. And all of this coming amidst a fairly, I guess, weak in terms of economic environment with these interest rates globally quite high. But it does look like we're at the peak there globally. And we also mentioned here in Australia seeing some potential cuts. How would that potentially affect your business and, I guess, help potentially boost the bottom line as well when it comes to staffing and some of your other costs?
Our type of business is not very capital intense. We have what we need in-house. It's all there. We need to gradually improve our asset base. We might do this in Australia, but don't forget we have an operations facility in the US. Our largest production facility is in Huntsville, Alabama, and we are going to set up also a production facility within Europe. We also have a facility in the Middle East and one in Singapore. So we have a multitude of production options and reserve capacity to be able to increase production quantities by almost 100% without going into any significant investment.
Andreas,
in terms of labor, we are suffering from getting good engineers to Canberra, but also here we can take benefit of the fact that we have engineering centers also in the US and Singapore.
Andreas, can you tell me a little bit more about your space technologies business and also potentially some of the contracts that you could be seeing within Asia?
Our space business in the past was very much linked to space awareness, to control debris in space and to give warnings to satellite operators ahead of collisions coming up. We have changed this business now and we will convert it into a space warfare and space control business, allowing our clients to engage against satellites from ground in different means. First of all, we will allow the client, thanks to our installation and systems we are going to sell them, to blind any satellite, to prevent any satellite to take any picture above their territory. And in the second step, to disengage those satellites, to disable them and to destroy those satellites in a war scenario. This is a new capacity, a new capability which nobody outside the US can offer to the marketplace. It's a new market we created first.
We've been seeing analysts also look at your stock price in terms of some of the big upgrade push. What do you think you can do to help investor return when you're looking at, we mentioned the economic climate, but also some of these deals you have on the radar?
In the share price today doesn't reflect the true value of the company and not at all the potential the company has. The share price is still very much influenced by the historic problems of the company. Don't forget the company was in quite a distressed situation in the early days of 2022 before the new management took over. This is still influencing, I think, the investor behavior and our share price. We expect with any new quarter to come that we can show to the market and to our investors that we execute as promised and that the investors get more and more trust in the new management of the company and in our strategic value. And hopefully this will be reflected pretty soon in the share price, which should be much higher than it is today.
All right. And what about offsetting some of your credit obligations as well?
Yes. We have entered into 3 credit facilities. The first one we have paid back according to schedule last year in September. The second one is due in April, and our firm plan is to use our very good liquidity base to pay back that as well. The third one is due only in 20 months from now by end of 2020. So very confident to pay this back as